Hi everyone, welcome back to WHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well and having a good bank holiday weekend. Guys, I can't put any video up at the moment because a lot of things going on at the moment, unfortunately. So this is just being recorded via Audacity, and I'm also going to try and hopefully put some graphics up as well, so you're not just seeing the bloody cine wave the entire time. But guys, I just want to have a catch up with yourselves, because obviously it's been a while since I made any content, including obviously the video talking about Malik Diouf, who looks like a bloody good signing, by the way. A little bit naive in the first couple of games that he's played so far, but as I just want to have a catch up with yourselves and also just talk about a few things that are outside as well, for that matter, in terms of the bigger picture with West Ham. But as always, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some really nice retro gear and including some track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts made by Admiral and Umbro, so go check those out as well. And any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to the charity Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area, and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield, and generally are supporting a hell of a lot more food banks than they should be. I love the fact they are supporting everybody that they are, but there's way too many food banks popping up. We're supposed to be a Western bloody civilization, so-called, and yet so many people are relying on food banks to make ends meet. It's absolutely horrendous, guys. But go grab yourself a really nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop. You won't be giving any money to the little cunt David Sullivan, and you'll be helping those the less fortunate than you and I. So as I say, yeah, we signed Malik Diouf. We made Todibo signing permanent, which is an inevitability regardless of how crap he was at the end of the season and how shaky he has started as well. We've also brought in Mads Hermansson from Leicester, the goalkeeper, 25 years old, just for about 15-16 million if I remember correctly. And we made two free transfers of Kyle Walker-Peters and Callum Wilson. Now, as we also remember, Niaye Gued has come back from his loan from Real Sociedad. Technically, Kurt Zima has come back from Al Gruber, but he's been released. Maxwell Cornet is also back as well. Caelan Casey came back from his loan at Swansea. And also Mahamadou Kouyaté came back from his loan from the Paris FC. But to talk about releases, obviously we sold Mohamed Kudus to Spurs for £55 million. And boy, are we regretting that from a football point. I'm guessing he's from a football point of view. I'm guessing he is the reason why there was a lot of backroom dissent in the dressing room last season. You know, Alvarez is off to Fenerbahce on season for the loan as well, for that matter. Soufal left, Creswell left, Caelan Casey's gone on loan to Swansea as well, for that matter. And obviously Evan Ferguson returned to Brighton, and Carlos Soler returned to Paris SG. Paris Saint-Germain as a result of it. So yeah, a lot of work being needed to have been done from that point of view. However, we've had a fucking stupid bloody transfer window already. You know, we've spent 82.8 million euros according to Transfer Market, and we've made 65.8. So a net loss of 17 million euros, which if I remember correctly is around about 13-14 million. It's not good enough from a West Ham perspective. And talking about not good enough, let's talk about quickly the first two games of the season. First of all, away to Sunderland. An interesting lineup, to say the least, in terms of the fact that although I understand the reasons why, bearing in mind that Rodriguez did have quite a decent pre-season. He was in the starting 11 for the Sunderland game, which caused a lot of criticism from many points. You know, obviously, you know, Hermansson made his debut. We had a back three of Aguerd, Kilman, and Todibo. And then we had Diouf and Aaron Wan-Bissaka as the attacking wing backs, with Rodriguez and Ward-Prowse in the middle of that, which, as I say, has caused a lot of contention in the fan base. Paquetá, Fulkrug, and Bowen up front. So other than the midfield, a relatively decent defence line, bearing in mind the players that were available. However, very disappointed not to see Freddie Potts in the starting 11 for the Sunderland game. And the first half, we played well. We played well. As you know, I've been putting a lot of content up on the Facebook groups and the channel Facebook group and the Facebook page, obviously because it's a lot easier than trying to do this. And it will be that way for the meantime. I'll try and do as much content as I can for you guys on here, but it's not difficult given my personal circumstances, which is a bugger. But, you know, I'll try and do as much as I can, as frequently as I can. But at the same point, guys, as I say, you know, I do think Graham Potter got the starting 11 wrong for Sunderland, but we played well in the first half. We went absolutely toe-to-toe and could have had a couple of goals ourselves if things had gone slightly differently, as it always is with West Ham. But at the same point, it is what it is. And as a result of it, you know, in the second half, we absolutely capitulated. 2 of the 3 goals could have been easily avoided. Everybody seems to disagree on which 2 of the 3. But at the end of the day, guys, it is what it is, and we started rock bottom on a -3 goal difference. Now going into Chelsea at home, first league game of the season at home at the London Stadium under I was going to say under Graham Potter, but it wasn't obviously because he came in January. But you know, the first 15-20 minutes played well. We played well. You know, Paquetá scored an unbelievably good goal. You know, I don't think we'll ever see anything like that for a good while again. You know, again, Hernsson keeping his place in goal. Back 3 again of Aguerd, Kilman and Todibo. Diouf and Wan-Bissaka as the attacking fullbacks. One change, Souček coming in for Rodriguez. Other than Souček and Ward-Prowse in the midfield with Paquetá, Füllkrug and Bowen up front. As I say, you know, it was just abysmal. I mean, great assist from Diouf to Paquetá. I'm loving the fact of what Diouf is doing at the moment. You know, we had Todibo was offside in the build-up to Füllkrug's equaliser. Sorry, second, I should say. But unfortunately, as I say, he was quite rightly. It was harsh, but it was quite rightly ruled out. João Pedro should say, and Pedro Neto getting on the score sheet on the 15th and 23rd minute respectively, and then Fernandez with a goal just before 10 minutes before half time. Second half, you know, 2-0, 3-0 down, people leaving already, which I respect. You know, at the end of the day, I don't have my season ticket at the club anymore, so I can't criticise anybody for leaving. It is what it is at the end of the day. Caicedo and Chalobah with 2 goals within 4 minutes of each other in the second half as well. Changes at half time as well, for that matter. Freddie Potts coming on for Tobido, so we went to a flat back 4. Carl Walker-Peters coming in for Souček, and also Füllkrug later on in the game, I should say. But Füllkrug came off, and Callum Wilson came on to make his debut to a lot of boos. Especially at the Sunderland game anyway, but so, you know, it just didn't seem to work. Whatever the change was seemed to make. I mean, when Potts and Wilson came on, there was a bit of attacking impetus for about 5 or 6 minutes, but then again, it just seemed to Chelsea's quality absolutely outshone us. It really, really did. But you know, it's harsh for us to concede 5 goals in that game, but at the same point, we all know Chelsea are a very, very good side. Guys, if you hear any scratching, it's me because I'm sweating like crazy. It's one of the side effects of the health conditions I've got at the moment. But yeah, as I say, I do personally think that things are a lot worse than everybody is making out at the moment. As I say, I'm all for David Sullivan fucking off as quickly as possible. I said it many, many times beforehand. You know, I'm sick and tired of having to repeat myself. There's a long article on the Facebook page where I've gone into it, but basically David Sullivan is bleeding this club dry and has been for years. We are almost double the amount of debt since the Icelandic crash back in 2009-2010. You know, we've signed 55 forwards in 15 years. And we've only really had, I mean, obviously, let's talk about strikers. We've only had, in my opinion, guys, let me know in the comments section below what you're thinking on this, but we've only really had Demba Ba and Carlton Cole as successful strikers. Surely, can you think of anybody else? I mean, obviously, Vaz Tay for a little while, you know, but it honestly, it just baffles the mind. It really, really baffles the mind that we've only been able to make a profit three, maybe 4 windows in 15 years. So that's basically 30 windows, a ratio of profit in 1 every 10 windows. It's not good enough. We're 9 years into the London Stadium now. All right, so What's the difference? There is no difference. West Ham, with the exception of the European run that we had under David Moyes, which we all love him for. I'm sure everybody does. Yes, all right, the league forms have been terrible for the last 3 seasons. But at the same point, what is different between now and when we were at Upton Park? Nothing. In terms of football, absolutely nothing. Nothing's changed. A couple of decent players that shouldn't really be playing with a ridiculous stupid amount of players that they've got around them. Like, for example, Paquetá to a lesser extent, Jared Bowen. Aaron Wan-Bissaka deserves better. I know he's been a bit shaky, but especially he's been getting a lot of criticism for the Chelsea game. But at the same point, that's because he was doubling up, having to cover Todibo because he wasn't fit enough to play that fixture. Hence him coming off at half-time and being replaced with Freddie Potts and getting the flat back four. We need to get this sorted out as soon as possible. I am all for protests if that's what it takes to go and do it again, to make our voices known, because David Sullivan and Karen Brady, they're both cancerous lumps that are slowly eating this club alive. We need better things from the club. We really, really do. We need to be having people buying players for the right positions at the right time, with the right mentality, and we don't seem to have that as much as possible. It's great to see the Fulkrug is working as hard as he possibly can. It's great. There are players out there that want to play for the club, and there are players that don't look like they're just not bothered. And it really does worry me. That's where we are with everything at West Ham at the moment. And obviously we've got the transfer window coming up soon as well. That's going to be finishing in the next week or so. So once that is done, I'll try and do some content for you guys on that as well. But guys, at the meantime, I'm really sorry for that I've not been able to keep up the content. Obviously, health matters are more important than YouTube. I'm sure you guys that are listening to this are more than aware of that. But there is an option to put audio up as a podcast, but I don't think without somebody else talking beside me, a podcast is quite relevant from that point of view. So I'm going to put some animations up in here so you can see, so we can talk about things. Well, but guys, thank you very, very much to everybody that's been staying around. Thank you to Rick for coming to see me in the hospital when I was in hospital for the first time. I do appreciate it as well, for that matter. Aidan, if you're listening to this as well, thank you for coming in with Pete at the second time as well. Honestly, for most of July I was in and out of hospital. I really, really was. It was absolutely painful. But guys, so those that haven't unsubscribed over the last few days, in the last few weeks or months, thank you very much for your support. It genuinely means a lot. And nobody's obviously, there's not many people are watching content because there's nothing new coming up. But I'm going to be trying to do as much content as I can for you guys as frequently as possible as I can as well, for that matter. But guys, thank you very, very much for listening. If you're new to the channel, by all means, welcome. It's lovely to see you. It'd be nice to get some more subscribers now that everyone's jumping ship, because I haven't done anything for a while. But again, it's completely understandable. I'd do exactly the same if I was in your shoes. But guys, I'm going to try and do as much as I can. Most of it's going to be audio stuff like this until I get myself sorted back to normal, in more ways than one. Because unfortunately, I need to be moving soon, so I don't know if the new place I'm going to be going to is going to be big enough for me to have everything like this. I don't know yet. It's as I say, there's a lot of things up in the air at the moment. But guys, thank you very, very much for your time. Try and enjoy the rest of your weekend and of course the week as well. I'll try and do a preview that will go up for the Wolves game tomorrow as well, because obviously we play them tomorrow night. I will be watching the game as well, so I might even do a post-match review of that. I don't know yet. As I say, I'm juggling a lot of things at the moment, guys, but in the meantime, thank you very, very much for your support. It generally means a lot. If you're new to the channel, please do like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.